So hopefully that means I am now live. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Yes, so hi. I am joining you this evening, obviously late. Pretty sure I'm coming down with a cold, so I'm a little out of sorts and a little bit of a mess, but that's fine. I'm still here. Still gonna have myself a drink and play some Twitch games. I don't know. I'm doing stuff. All right, so I'm gonna get started with making my drink of the evening, which, as I previously mentioned, is going to be a hot toddy. It is my absolute favorite cold. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead for this portion. We're just gonna full screen it so you can see me in all of my fabulous glory. Anyway, so I'm going to be making a hot toddy. This is actually one of my favorite cold cures. Goodness knows there was a point in time where I was actually working. I had 2 days off a month, maybe 3 days off a month, because I was working 6 days a week, except for the weeks where I worked 7 days a week. So, and I really couldn't afford to have days off to myself. And whenever I started to feel kind of crappy in cold weather, I drank a hot toddy, and I always felt 1,000,000% better. So we're just gonna go with that. So I'm starting with my cup of hot water, and I'm adding my super cute little tea infuser to it. And we're just gonna let that go for a minute because I need tea to start the drink off. But and technically speaking, a true hot toddy, you actually don't do tea. It's just hot water and all the ingredients I'm gonna add after. But I always make it with tea. I just like it better that way. And I mean, who's gonna stop me, right? We're fine. And my bangs are a mess today, which is why I keep messing with them. It's just me in general. It's a mess today. But we're gonna go ahead and give that a minute. I can already see the tea seeping into my glass a bit. Woo! And once that finishes steeping, I will be adding honey, lemon juice, and the all-important whiskey. So, and you know, there's no medical research to say this is actually a cure or anything. I just think it helps because typically with a cold, it doesn't hurt to have like hot drinks. It helps open up the sinuses. A little bit of alcohol, so like one of these, tends to help people relax. Might help you sleep a little bit better, get to sleep, because sleep is going to be what helps cure you a bunch. And honey, when you're coughing, or if you just have a sore throat, helps coat your throat. And then I think the lemon juice just freshens it all up a bit. I don't think it actually does anything. I guess some people would argue it's the vitamin C. The jury is out on whether vitamin C even does anything, so it doesn't really matter. Again, I'm just gonna let my little ducky over here to the side continue doing its thing. But when that is all said and done, I will be starting a new game that I have never played before tonight. It is called Monster Loves You, and it was suggested in, right now Steam is doing their like winter sale, and I just looked for a casual gamer section because whatever game I start, I'm only going to be playing it on Mondays when I don't find a maiden to come hang out with me. So I didn't want to get started into anything that was like going to be a big slog that I'd be playing for forever, or if it was something that I was going to want to play on my own when I'm not streaming, because I really pick out games where I'm going to do the whole thing in streams so that if people are interested, they can see it from start to finish, even if I don't finish it in one particular week. And this one looks pretty simple. It is a text-based, not quite choose your own adventure, because you go through the same, from what I read in the reviews, you go through the same plot no matter what. But it's a choose your own ending, because the choices that you make throughout the game add up behind the scenes, and then based on your choices, you get told at the end what happens to your particular monster. It's super quick. I may finish an entire run through tonight, or maybe it's more of like I'd be able to finish it in 2 plays. It's unclear from the reviews. Some people, you know, logged in like a little over 2 hours before they read a review. One person said it only took like half an hour for them to play through, but there are like 12 different endings. So if I finish in half an hour, I might just start up again and see if I can't get a different ending. But all right, my tea is looking pretty tea-tastic. Where'd my little, there it is. So the nice thing about my ducky is that it has a little base, so when you take the tea out, you can set your infuser down without having to worry about it getting on everything. So how long have I been steeping this? Probably long enough. It's probably been 3-4 minutes. We're gonna say it's been 3-4 minutes. So now I have my little ducky off to the side. His job is done. I have my cup o' tea. And as mentioned, next up I've got my little squeeze pot here of lemon juice. So we're just gonna pour out half an ounce of that. Oh, I just realized I didn't bother to update the thing at the top that says mix it up with Rouge and Saber on this screen. There's no Saber. I didn't want to get her sick, so I didn't invite any maidens over tonight. So I told them all. I didn't tell them anything. I just didn't bother to ask any of them over. But next up, we're gonna add 1.5 ounces of whiskey. And I'm just drinking like a simple Irish whiskey. Don't need to get fancy. And then I've got my little bowl of honey here that I had to heat up because I found that our honey had crystallized. But we're gonna get a nice heaping spoonful or 2 in there. And there we go. And now I have my little stirring rod. And just get that honey mixed in and we'll be ready to go. Whew! The lemon has definitely taken over. Although normally when I make this, I actually make it with a citrus tea. I was out of my citrus tea today, so I'm using a raspberries and cream tea that I have. And that's made with black tea. I don't think it holds up against how much lemon juice I put in, but that's fine. I did put in more than I normally did. I saw a recipe where you were supposed to put in a full ½ ounce of lemon juice. I don't think it needed that. Alright. Giving it one more stir with a little bit more honey to try and balance out that lemon. This is what I get for following a recipe. Normally I just like make a cup of tea and then add a squirt of lemon and however much honey I want and like a full shot of whiskey. This time I was like, oh, let me do like the actual measurements that a recipe told me to do. And I disagree with them. So, love my little cowlick just sticking out like that. Perfect. Love it. All right. Let me turn this on. Oh, that's a color. I think I am going to turn off my overhead lights though, because I don't need you to be watching me. You're going to be watching the game. So, you know, we'll just leave that light on. I'm disappearing for 2 seconds to turn out the light. Bam. There we go. A little bit more mood lighting for me so that you don't have to actually stare at my face this whole time. Alrighty, and now we're going to switch to the game view and we are going to actually get this game going. So there we go. So we are on the title screen. I have not gotten past this. I queued this up and left it alone. And one second, let me check what settings are. So sound, fully sound, ambient music. We want ambient music. Reset metals. Don't need to do that. Toggle full screen. Reset monster. Nope, we don't need to do any of that because we're starting for the first time. So we're going to go ahead and hit play. Help me begin your story. How does it go again? Long ago, deep in the forest, monsters called the whale mist. That's right, long ago, nestled in the heart of the forest, was the monster village of Omen. You are born from slime that holds the memory of monsters known for... And do we want to do actions and attitude, or words and thoughts? I'm going to say actions and attitude today. There's a good chance I might end up doing an evil run through because I'm in a mood, so we'll see. You're not awake yet, but soon your first eye will open. Your simple dreams will give way to life itself. You dream of fighting and eating and screaming, facing frightening enemies unafraid, or protecting innocent monsters from harm. Well, I'm a monster of the monsters. +9 kindness. Your body is turning and twisting, growing solid in the middle of a great vat of green slime. It's time to be born. Okay. Be born. You awaken in the searing season when the sun shines strongly overhead. I'm realizing that I think the sound is not going through my headphones. Things I should have done when I started. But alas, I am nothing if not unprepared. So hopefully this will just be real quick. System, sound, output. Nope. Alright, well, as long as you guys can hear it, sounds like I just don't need to be using these earbuds, so we'll just go back to it. Alright, so I just didn't want to start feedback, but it looks like we don't have to worry about feedback, so it's fine. But that's a little loud, so we're just gonna... Alright, your eyes open, you're a morsel, just barely born. You float in the spawning vat. Dozens of other morsels are exploring, flailing, and stealing food from each other. Do I try to swim, or do I just float here a little longer? You know what? I am definitely feeling the whole not doing anything right now, so. You close your eye and breathe for a while. You are at peace. As long as you live, you will always remember this one moment of perfect transcendent calm. Abandon the world within and engage the world beyond. All right, I'm on it. You open your eye again and smile with a new-formed mouth. There are many other morsels here. Perhaps they will be your friends, or my servants. Another morsel swims toward you. It opens its mouth to show a set of small, sharp teeth. It bites you. What? This is intolerable. Stop that biting. You pause, unable to believe that another morsel is trying to eat you. After a moment, you snap out of it and start to move again. I am gonna try and group source this. Honesty, +9. You speak. Your words are simple, but some of the morsels understand you. They converge on the biter. This aggression will not stand. Your tiny, slimy flotilla frightens the bad morsel away. It retreats to the far end of the spawning vat. Patrol the vat and look for more trouble. Splash, flutter, splish, squeak. Another morsel is too weak to swim properly. It's sinking toward the bottom of the spawning vat. Ignore it and swim on. Too bad, but these things happen. Oh no, that's terrible. You know, I said I thought it was going to be evil, but I'm too Hufflepuff. Oh no, that's terrible. You feel a deep sense of injustice at the smaller morsel's impending demise. If only you could do something about it. Do something about it. You swim to the morsel, determined to act. Get under the monstrel and push it up, or try to think of something. Let's push it. As you push up, the morsel's dead weight forces you down. Your legs come to rest against the bottom of the spawning vat, where they begin to squish. Keep pushing, you're not giving up. Your feet are breaking up among the solid clumps on the floor of the vat. Refusing to give up. Your legs are gone now, but you stretch your arms and body, changing your slimy shape to hold the other morsel up to the surface of the slime. Morsel out of danger? Yes. Don't grieve, it's logical. The news of any one monster are as important. Your body dissolves as you push one last time. The other morsel breaks apart as any other. The two dissolving morsels reach for each other. They come together in a single mass, a new morsel. You two are and always will be one. Wow! You have grown too big for the spawning vat. You must move on to the next stage of life and become a monsterling. You're going to get into some trouble, which is great. Exercise your bravery, cleverness, ferocity, kindness, and honesty. What kind of monster will you be? Indeed, to the brood cave, an adventure. Adventure. What adventure are we doing? Let's do this, like I'm drinking my hot toddy. Big old ham rag comes to the cave with a box full of metal cans. What's this? He says, it's drink or douse day. These cans are full of what the humans call soda pop. Monsterlings drink soda pop? Bubbly liquid sugar? You bet. But they also like to see who can chug the most or endure the most exploding metal cans at once. Alright. Should I drink or douse? I think I'm gonna drink, just like me at home. You drink a can of soda pop. Refreshing. Ooh, fizzy. Keep drinking. You drink another can of soda pop. Woo, these bubbles are building up in your belly. This is not a problem. Keep drinking. The third can of soda pop is tricky to chug, but you chug you do. This one isn't sweet, but it's still full of bubbles. And so are you. Yuck, this is getting painful. Quit before something bad happens. What's the worst that could happen? Keep drinking. Little bubbles are exploding inside of you. Gas is leaking from your hide with little squeaks and your belly is swelling. You don't have room for more soda pop. Lie down and nap until the bloated feeling's gone, or jump up and down, shake things up. Make some more room in there. We're gonna nap. Oh, I lost some bravery and ferocity for that choice. That's fine. Choose your adventure. Let's do this one. It's struggling just like me. A tiny cat scampers into the cave, followed by a worried Mupsy moral. The cat leaps and climbs, coming to rest on a high ledge. Watch. The little cat sits on its high ledge, licking one paw and staring down at Mupsy moral. Mupsy stares back up at the cat. Mupsy moral? Who's that? Mupsy makes something called the Omen Harbinger for the few monsters who can read. She's one of the other older elders. Her head looks like a mushroom. Or a brain. Okay. Just adding more honey and whiskey to my drink, don't mind me. Okay. The little cat sits on its high ledge, licking one paw and staring down at Mupsy moral. Mupsy stares back up at the cat. Is Mupsy right? I guess that was what I was supposed to ask. She might be. She doesn't look hungry. Regardless, the little cat seems upset that it wasn't consulted in the matter. Do I climb for the kitty? Offer some lichens and mushrooms to the kitty? Or I don't care about cat. Well, that last one is an absolute lie. I'm gonna climb for the kitty. The small cat moves with blinding speed, leaping from ledge to outcropping to stalagmite to boulder. That's dangerous. A monsterling could get hurt. Give up. Oh no, I'm gonna chase that little kitty. It leads you on a long, scary chase, but it eventually tires out. You jump down with the cat. Yeah. You stand before Muxie Moral holding the little cat. She says, "Oh, thank you." I'm going to give Mupsy. Mupsy says, "Well done, little one. I'm going to put a note about this in the next issue. I'll be famous. Yay. Choose my next adventure." Let's go with the big old question marks. Smark sits quietly by himself in the furthest, darkest corner of the cave. He's slumped and deflated, like a float pod missing half the gas inside. His eye brims with slimy tears. Hug and console Smark, ask him what's wrong, leave him be. Let's ask him what's wrong. It's important to get consent first. Smark looks down at his body, which isn't really fully or muscular like other monsterlings. He's sort of scrawny and weak. Tell Smark it's going to be fine, be straight up with him, look him over. It's fine, Smark. Remember, we're all monsterlings, and we're going to grow up to be monsters. And that's great. You rub Smark's bony shoulders and whistle a cheerful tune. Smark sighs and nods. What's my current? Can I, see how I'm doing so far? Your bravery score is 29. Clever. I am not very clever. Ferocity. Oh, I'm even less ferocious. I'm not that honest either. Oh no. I'm mostly kind and brave, which, you know, Hufflepuffin. I'm just Hufflepuffin through this. Blistery climbs on top of the lichen pile. She refuses to let any other monsterling eat, proclaiming herself ruler of the lichen part. Okay, let's destabilize the pile. While Blistery's fending off some of the other monsterlings, you sidle up to the lichen pile. There's a huge piece of lichen towards the bottom and a big old bare bone down there. Let's grab the bone. You grab an old bone and twist. The lichen pile collapses. Blistery is buried in the stuff. The other monsterlings rush in and start eating or kicking Blistery or both. You stumble on a rock and find a patch of purple lichen behind it. Your exclamation of delight draws Smark and Gobclaws over, but there's not really enough to share. What's so special about lichen? Tell them how to find some. Invite them in anyway. They're onto you. Run away. Let's tell them how to find some. You tell them to follow little damp trails left by little damp snails. They eat the lichen too, you explain. Smark and Gobclaws both grin. You eat the lichen. Delicious. You are halfway towards leaving, becoming an adolescent. Firm up your personality as much as you can. Does that mean I'm supposed to be like balancing it out? Am I supposed to stay balanced? Is that the goal? Nash and Gobclaws are racing in the ceiling of the cave. They've already climbed way up when Gobclaws invites you to join them. You don't see a good way up, though. Look at the paths they took and copy them. Just face up to it and maybe you aren't much of a climber. Make a fair effort, but stop before you get hurt. That's dumb. Let's look at the path they took. You follow Nash's claw marks halfway up the cave wall, then slip sideways to where Gobclaws was being more careful. You meet them at the top to their surprise. You and Nash spot Blistery and Smark playing the game. Nash says, "I got an idea." Well, what's your idea? Nash says, "Look at the mushrooms all over the place. I hear they're tasty, and they won't miss a few who take them." "No way! I'm no thief!" Nash hisses, "Gutless slime!" Smark and Blistery look up at the noise, then return to their game. Walk away from Nash. Just walk away. You spare Nash a lecture. This time, she hoots at your retreating back, clearly failing to appreciate the favor. Yeah, well, who cares about Nash? Nash tumbles into you, screaming and chased by Sickle, who is also screaming. What's all this, then? Nash Nash and Sickle are trying to make each other's ears bleed by screaming. Sickle is winning and Nash Nash is running. What fun! Join in. As you add your screaming to theirs, other monsterlings turn and listen. You seem to have created a weird 3-part horrible harmony. You end up leading the whole cave in a chorus of I am monster, hear me roar, complete with roaring. You're not sure who won, but everybody's ears burst. Some monsterlings are building little stone towers. Blotz comes to you with a heaping armload of smooth rocks. Do you think this is enough to build a tower? Give him an honest answer. Help him build a tower. Shut me alone. Blotz, I'm busy. Prank Blotz nicely. Let's do a silly prank. You tell Blotz he has too many rocks. He gives you half of them. You quickly build a statue that looks vaguely like Blotz carrying an armful of rocks. Wow, I'm an artist. The other monsterlings look on in amusement. Even Blotz seems to enjoy it, though his own tower has suffered. Oh no, I don't get to do the other ones. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. Elder Marinus calls the oldest monsterlings to gather in a group. You're one of the oldest ones now, so you should join them. She looks grave. Marinus shuffles down a long tunnel, turning this way and that among dozens of forking passages. Marinus stops in a warm, humid chamber with a pit in the floor. She points to the pit, which seethes with thick mist. I'm gonna wait. Marinus pushes you in with a sweep of her tail. Ah! It all seems so reckless. You fall and fall some more and fall and you're falling and other monsterlings are falling? Yes, some of them are crying and you can't see through the mist. Or is it fog? Maybe clouds. Moans and groans and whispering screams. Where is this? It must be somewhere. You land on smooth, flat stone. Despite the swirling vapor, the floor is dry as a bone. You hear other monsterlings breathing nearby. Some of them are still above you, still falling. Get out of the way. I'm cushioning no one. You rejoin some of the monsterlings at the edge of the mist. There are more passages out of here than you can count. Some monsterlings begin to panic while others look determined. I'm going to take charge. Other monsterlings watch you, curious. Lead the way personally. Slash of the show them you're in charge. Help everyone work together. I'm going to lead the way. You strike out with courage and confidence. The other monsterlings follow you, choosing turns and force at random. You soon walk into a cave full of even thicker mists. Such thick mists. The chamber swirls with mist, smoke, fog, vapor, except it's not any of those things. It's ghosts. Hundreds of them, large and small. They're everywhere. So spooky. One by one, the pale ghosts begin to turn their attention to you. Their eyes glow different colors. I'm going to stand fast. The ghosts speak in many voices, all hollow and distant, all in unison. They ask you, do you fear? Yes. Your answer echoes back to you, louder and louder. You crouch down, trying to hide from the noise and fall unconscious. Sleep for a while. So I'm pretty brave, very nicely clever. You're not very ferocious. Reasonably honest, reasonably kind. Okay. You wake up inside a well-appointed hovel. This is your home now. What should I be doing? The more brave, clever, ferocious, kind, and honest you are, the more other monsters will grow to respect you. Gain enough respect, and you might someday affect important world events. Well, okay then. You wake up inside a well-appointed hovel. This is your home now. Start living as an adolescent monster. Enter the big bad world. Prudence, proof rock, fruit rock. Is there anything else I can click? No. It was just that one thing. Wait, I don't want to do that. Resume. Interesting. Okay, we're going to enter the big bad world. So now I'm seeing that there is actually, you can't see it on the stream because it's blocked by the maid and stuff, but it actually says 8 days left. So I only get to do 8 of these is what I got. Oh, we're definitely doing the goat. Oh, we're starting with the goat. You hear a bleeding sound from inside the scapegoat's pit. Is it the scapegoat? Of course it is. Bleeding is what goats do. Well, good. Scapegoat walks out of its pit, looks around, and bleeds again. Nash Nash says it wants a fight. Let's give it one. A fight? Sure, that makes sense. No, I like goats, so we're going to see what's really bothering the goat. Scapegoat stares at you as you approach it. It bleats again. Looking in the pit, you see that there is no food anywhere. Oh, well. Nash Nash shoves you aside and says, I said let's give it a fight. I'm defending the goat. Goats are awesome. Scapegoat seems relieved when you step between it and Nash Nash. Nash Nash says, okay, I'll fight you instead. But then she always does. Give Nash Nash a good tussle. Hey. You and Nash Nash roll in the dirt, kicking up dust and scattering mud and slime everywhere. Soon you are exhausted. But what about the goat? The scapegoat has retreated back into its pit, where some other monsters are feeding it. It came up because it was out of food. Isn't that thing on a tether? When the scapegoat gets hungry enough, it will chew apart its ropes so it can forage for food. The elders call this system chomps and balances. Alright. Which of these am I doing next? We should probably do the singing one. Gobclaws has found a human artifact, a black circle. She shows it to you very carefully. Look, it has grooves on it. We're going to try to suss out its purpose. You hold up the black circle, looking at it, tapping it with your claws, and tasting it with your tongue. Gobclaws says, I already tried that. It must be a hat. Other monsters are impressed by your impromptu fashion show. Gobclaws thanks you as she takes back her new hat and waddles away. Alright, what next? We're going to do the one that's shaped like a human. You, Nash Nash, and Gobclaws hide in a stand of prickly thorn bushes, watching human children run back to their bus. But what's that they left? Shiny, red, round things. It's a scooter. Oh, yay! Thanks, double clicks. I'm gonna battle, because I'm pretty sure I need more ferocity to be a balanced monster. Alright, fangs, claws, tails, blood. You are strong, true, but not the strongest. Not today. As she scoots off, you realize Nash Nash just wanted it more than you did. And now, you need some bandages. Well, I did it for the ferocity, and I got the ferocity, so we're fine. Let's take a stroll. This looks good. It's such a nice day today. Perfect weather to wander outside of town. Though you're not really supposed to leave Omen until you're older. Oh, we are absolutely taking a nap in the sun. That sounds glorious right now. You do just that, warming your weary body. Whoops, I think that was a waste. I think I got nothing for that. My bad. Let's do this one. You hear screams, shrieks, and cheers and come running. The oldest monster is fighting a challenger. Even the elder monsters flee to a safe distance. They know this could turn out badly. I want to learn from this. You're the closest monster to the fight. The purple monster has 16 thick, ropey tentacles, and he's trying to strangle the oldest monster. The oldest monster ignores a grip that could and does shatter a hovel. I'm not going to watch from a safe distance now, though. Challenger bobs and weaves until he gets eaten. You wipe the purple blood off your face and make a few mental notes. Don't challenge the oldest monster ever seems sensible. 3 days left, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 of these. Oh, I don't even get to choose this one. That's rude. We'll go with this one. It looks unhappy like me. Lots waddles over to you. I'm all out of sex. Got any to spare? Blotz is tiny. In the right light, one could easily mistake him for a squirrel. His neck is especially flexible from looking over his shoulder so much. He's Nash Nash's best friend, which means she constantly attacks him. we're gonna give Blotz a snack. Blotz grins. That's great. Thanks so much. He waddles away, munching on a bitter beetle. Alright, how we looking? Bravery is 56. Cleverness is 90. Ferocity is 32. Honesty is 33. And kindness is 51. So cleverness is very much on the lead, followed by bravery, kindness, and then ferocity. I'm not a very ferocious or honest monster. What can I say? Yeah, now I can pick this one. Greedblitz walks back to your stoop. He stops, coughs, and tilts his head, proudly showing off his baseball hat. Makes him look ridiculous. What's baseball? Some human sport involving large wooden bats. It's something you could see making an appearance in multiple. Sure. Fine. I'm going to ask about the hat. Greedblitz says, I gave a talking fox a whole bushel of rabbits for it. He said it's what all the smartest humans are wearing these days. Monsters walk by, pointing and snickering at the ridiculous chapeau as they do. I'ma tell him the truth. Greedblitz beams, misinterpreting your intention. A duck's face I stole from the humans. He moves away to show others. Alright, last one. Do I want this? We're gonna go with this one. Big old mouth. You see Jaggery in a haze of buzzy, angry yellow bees. It looks like he stole a beehive off of a tree and took it home. You can see why. Honey is irresistible. Jaggery motions for you to help him. Don't interfere. Nature is beautiful. Oh, I lose kindness for that. Whatever. Oh, poor Jaggery. Adolescence is fleeting. You've grown beyond youth and have become an adult. Woohoo! You've been dragged from your bed by your friends and neighbors. What, who, where, why, now? They tell you it's time to grow up. You're taken into the woods. The neighbors throw you into the center of a great circle of monsters, all older than you. They whisper to each other, then look at you, then whisper some more. The monsters murmur and mutter, spit and snarl. They're deciding what best defines you as a monster. I'll wait. After a while, the muttering stops. The murmuring goes on for some time longer. Finally, the assembled monsters come to a decision. Well, what is it? The ring of monsters shuffles close to you, forming a tight circle. Others loom over you while the smaller adults crouch low. Your surroundings feel shadowy and dark. Wait, what's happening? This is the end of your adolescence. Your body becomes tougher, and other grown-up monsters will be more likely to listen when you speak. Yay! The ring of monsters shuffles closer to you, forming a tighter circle. Elders loom over you while the smaller adults crouch low. Your surroundings grow shadowy and dark. Well, what do they want from you now? You see concern in some of their faces, but very little respect. So what does a wait for them to assign you a task. Someone calls you clever. An unseen monster in the back agrees. Yeah, you're a real know-it-all. Someone gives you a tangled-up ball of wires and little glass bulbs, a human artifact of some kind. Untangle it to prove you're smart. You squint and turn the ball this way and that, then find the worst part of the tangle and worry it free. It gets easier after that, and soon the whole ball is a series of clean loops. Yay! I guess that's what this thing at the bottom is that I'm slowly starting to earn respect. Down here by your standards. Okay. You're an adult now. You'll grow stronger over time, but your personality is no longer as mutable as it was when you were young. I want to explore. Fuck politics. We're going back to the goat. Squirrel hops in the cool sunlight, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready to bury nuts and make something of itself. You drop on it from a branch, grab it, and twist its head off. Delicious decapitation! A young wolf suddenly leaps in front of you, snaps the squirrel out of your claws, and runs off laughing and barking. turn the tables on the wolf. A second squirrel creeps up and pokes at the discorporated head of the first one. You grab the new squirrel and chew on it a little, thinking. Alright, I guess we'll politic now. Snake! We're gonna mess with the snake. Snake moon is rising in the sky and it's time to gather snakes for the ritual. Snake moon? Sometimes the full moon has shadows on it, and that's got to mean something. Monsters celebrate these shadows with snake soup. Snake moon is rising and it's time to gather snakes for the ritual. We're gonna set out to gather snakes. We're no mooch. You wander the fields near the whale mist. It's easy to catch snakes, but every time you reach for another one, some of them squirm out of your grasp. Most of your snakes are getting away. Not anymore, they're not. You come to the ritual with 10 snakes draped over your shoulders. Greet the other monsters with your dead snakes. Many of the other monsters brought live snakes, but they let you put your dead ones into the scaly cauldron. Excellent. Monsters gather around the cauldron. Proof Rock scrapes 2 sticks together to light a fire. It's going to be a fun night. And there was much rejoicing. We're going to go back to exploring. We're going to go for the blood splatter. You stalk the forest, hunting an elusive swift elk. Suddenly it emerges from the underbrush, lowering its antlers and pawing at the ground. It's going to charge. Perfect! Tear it apart! The elk charges and you duck under it, slashing a hole in its chest. But instead of a heart, you find nothing. The elk turns, catches you with its antlers, and flings you into a tree. What the? The elk bounds away. It's unkillable. There's nothing that's unkillable. After it, you fell in the world. You keep chasing the elk until it pauses to drink from a stream. Then you spring at it without fear and tear it from limb to limb. Head from body, antler from skull. Rawr! Ooh, got a bunch of little things there. Its pieces are still twitching as you devour them. You are filled with a strange heat, but it soon fades. How bracing. Other monsters comment on the new swagger in your step as you return to Omen. We do this. Food time. Godclaws and you are arguing over what to have for lunch. But she got to pick last time. Suddenly, your favorite food flies down from the sky and perches within arm's reach. The magpie chirps. Have either of you seen a cornfield around here? Your stomach growls. We gotta eat the bird. Oh no! Fantastic amuse. Sadly, wasn't much. You and Godclaw still have to figure out what to have for lunch. This one looks schemy. We're going to do this one. Bliss Tree comes to you, flapping her winglets and clenching her claws. Mopsy Moral is looking for me. I overslept. I missed the hairy hare hunt. What's so bad about that? I was almost for the hunt, says Bliss Tree, and those hairy hares are really fast. We have to collect enough of their feet every year so Omentown has good luck. Ask Bliss Tree how many feet the hunt brought back with her. She yells, none. I was supposed to watch from above and show the outlaws where their hares were hiding. Good luck for everyone then, except the hares. Bliss Tree flutters her winglets again, especially for me. Mopsy's going to print a story about how I ruined everything for everyone. Bliss Tree comes to you, flapping her winglets and clenching her claws. Mopsy Moral is looking for me. I overslept. Oh, wait, we're starting over. Suddenly leaps to the top of a garbage can, spreads her winglets, and flies away. Weird. Just then, Mopsy Moral rolls an important square, pen and pad grasped in her thin claws. Did you see Bliss Tree coming through here? I want to make sure everyone knows the truth. No comments. How we doing? Okay, on bravery. I am maxed out on cleverness. I am very low on ferocity comparatively. Not that great on honesty. You're okay on kindness. I'm not totally terrible. This one looks like it sees something interesting. You and Gobclaws come across an ant and a grasshopper, both locked in mortal combat. Each is biting the other's back leg. Interesting. Get involved in this buggy battle. As you reach for the bugs, Gobclaws holds you back. Isn't there a legend about bugs and wheat? Maybe we should be careful. Accept this timid advice and don't interfere. Silly Gobclaws, monsters fear no such things. Go ahead and interfere. I'm probably going to regret this. You shirk off Gobclaws and get back to what you were doing. Separate the ant and the grasshopper, then eat them. Divide the wheat between them, or get a really close look. Let's eat them. Haha, not much meat, you mutter, and use the wheat stalk to scratch an itch. Gobclaw sighs and agrees, and you both move on. Let's do this one. This one looks fun. You look over your garden. Garden? Garden! Most hovels have gardens. Many monsters don't care, but some like to show off their herbs, spices, and flowers. Well, how's mine looking? There's so many rocks there. Even if you don't feel like planting things, it looks bad. These rocks ought to go. Stupid rocks, kick one. We will not do that. Start digging. We'll start digging. Oh, this work is a lot harder than you expected. You're not a natural digger like Molefoot or Shovel. Not all monsters pick good names. Just be glad you're not one of them. Keep at it, do all the work yourself. We're gonna keep at it. Be Hufflepuff. You dig. It's hard, but you eventually get better at it. Dig. When you're done, the garden looks much better. All that digging turned over the earth, too. That's probably a good thing. The spine doctor, out for a stroll, stops to compliment your work ethic. You're not sure what an ethic is, but she always talks like that. Old monster shouts at Sky. It's the scream-along, sing-along. Everyone's screaming. Loudest monster wins. Scream, sing, scream, sing. You're totally going to break some windows and eardrums. But why are all these monsterlings here? Your singing has been known to hurt their little ears. Belt it out. You gotta win. You sing about loss and secret love and a plate with no pancakes on it. Your song is sad and strong, but the other monsters sense that you're holding back. The monsterlings, on the other hand, are terrified. Cut loose at full power! Scream! Oh, I lost kindness for that one! The monsterlings flee as your song shatters windows and causes clouds to break apart in the sky. The other monsters carry you around Portland Square on their shoulders and humps, proclaiming you their musical hero. Though you see monsterlings cowering at the brood cave, clutching at their ear holes. Look, they gotta learn sometime. We're gonna do this one. You and Nash encounter the Proud Bear. This is an honor and a problem. The Proud Bear has killed monsters, something rare in the animal kingdom. He stares at you. I'm gonna nod cordially. Bear doesn't move. You go back the way you came. Well, whoops, that was a waste. Your neighbor, the elder monster, Alelia, walks slowly in the direction of the brood cave. Alelia? Alelia who? She's one of your next door neighbors, but she's much older than you. Months and months. She has tough scales and eyes of several different sizes. Your neighbor, the elder monster, Alelia, walks slowly in the direction of the brood cave. Follow her. As she passes down the road, some of the other elders nod to her. They then go to her hovel and start smashing things. Ask an elder what's going on. Greed, Blitz starts tearing apart Alelia's dining room table and says she feels herself beginning to dissolve. She's going to go release herself and become one with the slime in the spawning vat. What happens when monsters dissolve themselves? Monsters who get to a certain age either settle into their personality and shape forever, or they let themselves become one with the slime from which they came. Their personality can have an effect on future generations of monsterlings. We're going to go thank her for her contribution. You're going to be remembered, Aurelia, and we'll see a bit of you in every monsterling from now on. Aurelia wipes a slimy tear from one of her smaller eyes and sniffs. We're going to tell her a joke. You ask, what did the talking wolf say to the bear? Aurelia pauses, raises 6 of her eyebrows, and waits for the answer. You realize you don't have a punchline, but before the silence can go awkward, her ears fall off. Aurelia waves goodbye to you and resumes her walk to the brood cave. You never see her again. Sad. 4 days left. Let's do this one. Let's get all Arthur in this. King Arthur. You find a red hood and a basket in the middle of the forest path. A human house is nearby. Funny, you never noticed it before. There's a white picket fence out front. Creepy. Stay away. Ooh. Take the hood and basket home. Aw, they're too damaged to be considered proper artifacts, but they're interesting. Ooh. I'm just realizing you can totally see my messy chair behind me now with how much I tilted the camera down. I'm still getting my office settled since I moved in here in May. One day there will be like beautiful artwork behind my head because I've got so much stuff I've got to hang up, but not yet. So one day. The spine doctor is treating 2 injured monsters in Portland Square. She breaks off her own quills and uses them like sewing needles. Little iron pot boils over a small fire, but it's just water. The doctor seems to have run out of something. Let's offer to get involved. You join the spine doctor, who accepts your help approvingly. How you aid her? I'm going to offer to fetch medicine. The doctor nods to you and sends you to her hovel for a big clay jar. When you bring it back, she opens the lid, revealing hundreds of leaves, twigs, dead bugs, and human pills. She selects a few by feel alone and feeds them to the patients, who soon stir. Let's see this one. You spy a wolf pacing outside a small wooden cabin. From within the building, you hear the bleating of goat kids. Attack the wolf while his back is turned. He hears you and bolts. You give him a good chase, but only manage to snag his tail away before you run out of steam. Oops. No, the tail. A bit gristly. Still, not a bad meal. Alright, this is my last one. You sit with Nash, and Gobclaws on a tattered red blanket, eating cookies and talking about artifacts. What are artifacts? Artifacts are human-made objects. Many monsters collect them. All the garbage cans in Omen were collected from one human bus stop. Some artifacts are interesting. Some can be dangerous. Well, okay then. It seems a little late in the game for me to be learning this. You sit with Nash and Gobclaws on a tattered red blanket, eating cookies and talking about artifacts. Continue the discussion. Gobclaw sighs. I really like the artifacts. I want a nice big collection, but it seems like I can never find any good ones. You and Nash exchange glances. Nash runs a claw along the handlebars of her little scooter. You both know some good spots. You open your mouth, but gasp as Nash kicks you hard. Nash whispers, "That'll be less stuff for us. I don't care if you have less stuff, but if I do, you're in big trouble." She pokes you with her claws to make her point. "Telling anyway!" Gobclaws clicks her pincers happily as she does a little dance of things. She scuttles off into the woods to check out the places you described. What about Nash? Oh, I'm in trouble. Nash is a bitch. Nash makes good on her promise of big trouble in the form of a thorough drubbing. You crawl back to your home, exhausted and bleeding. You're growing old, my friend. Your body is very soft, and you drip slime everywhere you go. It's getting hard to leave your hovel. Let's go see the spine doctor. The doctor tells you that your time is almost up. You'll soon reach the end of adulthood. You will either ascend to elder status or dissolve into slime. Their bodies melt in the spawning vat where their memories will nourish the minds of new. What happens to monsters who ascend? Those who manage to ascend become elders and live on to steer the fate of monster kind. Can the doctor do anything to stop the process? Binder says there's a treatment that might prevent your dissolution. Doctor says the treatment involves an extract taken from the tentacle ferns that grow in the whale mist. You know what? I'm ready to accept my fate. You return to your hovel. The doctor bids you good luck as you depart. A group of elders is waiting at the door of your hovel. They've seen your drippings. They know it's time for you to dissolve or ascend. I'm gonna go with them. Let's just do this. The elders of Omen surround you at the spawning vat. They've built a fire beneath a small cauldron. Your body is squishy and damp. I mean, I want to try and be an elder. A masked elder comes forward. She says it's time to decide. All the elders growl and snarl. The masked elder claws herself. 3 drops of liquid spatter against the hot bottom of the empty cauldron. Thick vapor rises into the air. Was that blood or slime? You can't be sure. It depends on how much she respects you. Who has already decided the fate of this monster? None of the monsters come forward. They don't respect you very much. Well, fuck you, monsters. The masked elder has placed 5 flat stones on the ground before you. She says, choose one. Chance will guide your claw. Let's look at the stones. Each stone is stained with old blood and polished by the touch of many a paw. You can't tell one stone from the others. So, let's pick. The other side of the stone is etched with a crude glyph. It shows a monster frowning in concentration. The masked elder says, we will test your cleverness. The masked elder emits a series of musical whistles and clicks, then performs a complex dance. You've never seen these steps before. She says, now you do it. Copy every noise and movement. Yeah, you are dancing fiend. Polite applause washes across the crowd. Several monsters howl their approval and step forward, adding more fluids to the iron cauldron. She's next up. The other side of the stone is etched with a crude glyph. It shows 2 monsters fighting. The master says, we will test your ferocity. 2 large monsters seize you from behind. They growl and try to pull you apart. I don't know where my ferocity was at before I started this. You struggle in the grasp of 2 monsters, but they are implacable. Only when you've surrendered do they release you. For shame, mildness, failure. A few monsters hoot and snarl, but most of them watch you in silence. As the fire dies down, the masked elder gestures to the remaining stones. You hold the cauldron, which contains the portentous infusion. It's heavy. You drink it, alas, you must dissolve now. Oh no, I failed! You wait in the spawning vat. It's cool and green, and you feel the aches and pains of your body melting away, along with your body. Your hide is absorbed by the surrounding slime. Tiny morsels swim closer to the new source of nourishment. Ah, relief. Your last thoughts begin to form even as your brain disintegrates. As your body unravels in the slime, you dream of... Your body is gone now. You are a dream of kindness. Sometimes a morsel will give its life to save another from a predator or the dangerous whirlpools that form in the spawning vat from time to time. There will be more such sacrifices in the future, and they will make the monsters of Omen better than they were before. They will be born knowing what a hero is. The end. Oh, ferocity was my lowest. I should have gone for the 50-50. Oh. Man, I was actually really good on almost everything else. I had to test my ferocity. What bitches. Well, alright then. Farewell, kind monster. Your essence will become part of all monsters from here until the end of time, for what it's worth. The end. Well, on that note, I think I'm calling it an evening. So, We're just gonna switch on out to that, but I'm probably gonna, since we're here. Oh look, I fixed it. Anyways, so yes, so that was Monster Loves You. And apparently there is, obviously, based on me having played it differently and gotten different rankings, there's like something like 12 different endings I could have gotten. So I might try that again sometime. It was cute. And really quick, so it's easy for me to do that all in one evening. But yeah, the art was cute. I kind of understand why some people were all like, it doesn't have a lot of replay value. But it's on stream sale, so if you liked that this evening, you can get it for $2.50 right up until January 2nd. So you have a couple more days to give that a shot. And then otherwise it's something like $10 normally, so I mean, but yeah, on that note, I believe I'm calling it an evening. I might make myself another hot toddy, even though like I had that whole thing about, oh, you should really only have one. But otherwise, yep, I'm signing off. I need to go get sleep and maybe more tea, maybe more whiskey. So thanks for joining me and have a good night.